I'm not here to hype a mattress or to convince you that every night will feel like you're sleeping on a cloud. What I want to do is walk through the things that usually make people hesitate when they're shopping for a new bed, point out the real-world trade-offs you'll actually notice, and help you decide if the Casper Original Hybrid in king size is the right fit for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, buying a mattress online is a different kind of gamble than buying a TV or a kitchen gadget. You can't sit on it in the store, you can't test the feel for a week, and you're often committing a significant chunk of your budget without the tactile reassurance of a showroom. That's why many shoppers end up stuck with a bed that's either too firm, too soft, or just not supportive enough for how they move during the night. The biggest risk is ending up with a mattress that throws off your sleep quality, which then spirals into daytime fatigue and even back pain. So the question becomes, does this Casper Hybrid actually solve those problems, or does it just add another layer of uncertainty? The Casper Original Hybrid is positioned as a medium-feel mattress with zone support, which means the core is split into firmer zones for lower back and hips, while the upper layers stay softer for shoulders and side sleepers. It also combines pocketed springs with a breathable memory foam top layer that's supposed to keep you cool and isolate motion. On paper that sounds like a good balance, but the proof is in everyday use. If you're the type of sleeper who shares a bed with a partner who tosses and turns, motion isolation is probably at the top of your wish list. Casper's claim of advanced motion isolation comes from the way the foam encases the springs, dampening the ripple effect when one side shifts. In practice, couples I've spoken to say they notice far less disturbance when their partner gets up in the middle of the night. You can still feel a big movement like someone sitting up abruptly, but the subtle rolling and shifting doesn't travel across the entire surface. That's a practical win for light sleepers who otherwise rely on a don't disturb pillow or earplugs. Cooling is another common concern, especially if you tend to get hot or live in a warm climate. The Hybrid's top layer uses a gel-infused memory foam that is marketed to disperse heat, and the pocketed springs create channels for airflow. Real-world feedback suggests the mattress feels cooler than a pure memory foam model, but it's not an ice-cold experience. If you normally use a heavy duvet or sleep with a pet, you'll probably notice a modest temperature regulation enough to keep you comfortable without needing a separate cooling pad. However, if you're a night sweater who runs a sauna in your bedroom, you may still want a dedicated mattress cooler. Durability is a factor that gets lost in the hype. Casper touts a decade of durability, and the 100-night trial plus a typical 10-year warranty give you a safety net. The Hybrid's pocketed springs are individually wrapped, which tends to prolong the core's structural integrity compared to an all-foam design that can sag over time. In households with 2 adults and occasional kids jumping onto the bed, the mattress has held up well for the first few years according to owners who have kept it longer than the trial period. Now, let's talk about the downsides. The first thing that trips up buyers is the medium feel. While it's meant to be a middle ground, it can feel too soft for heavier sleepers who need that firm, supportive base to keep their spine aligned. If you weigh over 250 pounds, you might notice a slight dip in the center after a few months, especially if you tend to sleep on your back. That's not a catastrophic failure, but it can make the mattress feel less supportive than you expected. Another practical issue is the edge support. Because the Hybrid uses a combination of foam and springs, the periphery isn't as solid as a premium innerspring mattress with reinforced edges. When you sit on the edge or sleep close to it, you may feel a little sink. For a king-size bed, this is less noticeable than on a twin or full, but if you frequently use the full width of the mattress, it's worth noting. Weight and handling also matter. The king version is heavy, around 140 pounds, so getting it up the stairs or onto a platform bed can be a workout. Casper ships it in a compressed box, which helps, but you still need a few strong hands or a dolly to maneuver it. If you live on a high floor with a narrow elevator, consider that logistical hurdle before you order. Who should buy this mattress? If you're a side sleeper who likes a plush feel but also needs some underlying support for your hips, the zone design works nicely. If you share a bed with a partner who